When we examine the countries in the Sahel region that have experienced coups, it is evident that Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso often dominate discussions, while the president of Guinea, Mamadou Doumbouya, is largely overlooked. Despite Doumbouya coming to power through a coup in 2021, his leadership has not received the same level of attention or scrutiny as his counterparts in neighboring countries. This raises important questions about the factors that influence perceptions and international reactions to military-led governments in the region. The disparity in attention given to Guinea's leadership compared to Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso can be attributed to several factors, including geopolitical interests, historical context, and regional dynamics. Guinea's political landscape, while influenced by similar trends of military intervention, may not pose the same perceived threats or challenges to Western interests as its neighboring countries. Additionally, Guinea's internal dynamics and international relations may significantly differ from other countries led by coup governments, which could influence the level of attention and response from the international community. As the Sahel region undergoes political transformations, understanding the nuances of these countries' leadership and their implications for regional stability and global relations is crucial for informed analysis and dialogue. In this video, we will explore what sets Colonel Mamady apart from Captain Traore and why he is not a member of the recently formed Sahel Alliance. Colonel Mamady has only garnered media attention on 3 occasions since assuming power in 2021. The first instance was in 2021 when he succeeded Alpha Conde as the leader. The second time was when he expressed support for Mali and Burkina Faso during the initial coup in Niger, as well as during his impactful speech at the 78th United Nations General Assembly. The third time was when he dissolved Guinea's government. Apart from these occasions, Guinea and its interim president have remained relatively calm compared to the events that have unfolded in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso since the military takeover. While Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso have expelled French forces, Guinea, under Colonel Mamady's leadership, has not taken such actions. In 2022, France quietly resumed military cooperation with Guinea, with Colonel Mamady requesting French military assistance in securing Guinea's northeastern border with Mali. While we have heard about anti-French sentiment in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, we have heard nothing about it in Guinea. Since taking power, the military juntas in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso have openly opposed French intervention and policies in their countries, and they have taken various actions to demonstrate their solidarity, such as closing the French embassy, expelling the French ambassador, criticizing French imperialism, and removing French as the official language. On the other hand, Colonel Mamady has not made any definitive statements indicating his opposition to France. So, how does Colonel Mamady's leadership differ from that of Ibrahim Traore, Assani Goïter, and General Tani? The first thing to note is that Colonel Mamady was a former French legionnaire. This means that Mamady was a member of the French Foreign Legion, a distinct military corps within the French army that accepts foreign recruits willing to serve in the French army. After 3 years of service, members of the French Legion are granted French citizenship, or they can immediately receive it if they are wounded in battle for France under the by spilled blood provision. Colonel Mamady served in the French Legion for 5 years after his training at France's École de Guerre military academy. It is expected that every member of the French Legion remains loyal to France even after leaving the force. This means that Colonel Mamady is unable to take certain actions against France. While Ibrahim Traore is closing the French embassy and establishing diplomatic relations with Russia, Colonel Mamady is unable to do the same because he is part of the French system and therefore has limited options. Secondly, Colonel Mamady is married to a French woman named Ibrahim Doumbouya. She is not just an ordinary French citizen, she is also an active member of the French National Gendarmerie. The French National Gendarmerie is one of France's 2 national law enforcement forces, serving as both a military branch and performing various military and defense missions. As an active member of a French force, it is unlikely that she would allow her husband to act against France. Therefore, Colonel Mamady's connection to France extends not only through his background but also through his family, and he is unlikely to take any actions against France. This is one reason why some speculate that France may have been involved in the coup that brought Colonel Mamady to power, especially considering that former President Alpha Conde was strongly opposed to France, and relations between Guinea and France had deteriorated during his leadership. Thirdly, Colonel Doumbouya is among the 25 Guinean officials accused of human rights violations. The European Union has threatened to impose sanctions for alleged human rights violations committed in recent years by President Conde, whom Colonel Mamady later deposed. France is now a member of the European Union, so they have a certain level of control over Colonel Mamady. If he dares to take any action against them, the European Union, with France's support, will undoubtedly find a way to accuse him of human rights violations and impose sanctions. In essence, Colonel Mamady's hands are tied, and his every move is closely monitored. This is why he has chosen to remain silent while Captain Traore and the other military junta members are making waves on the international stage. The only thing Colonel Mamady can do is speak up. That's why, in his speech at the United Nations General Assembly in New York last year, Colonel Mamady revealed the pressure he has been under since assuming power in Guinea. He stated that the wave of coups in West Africa occurred not because military juntas were opportunistic, but because there were problems to be solved in regimes that had remained in power for a long time, such as Alpha Conde. Colonel Mamady then revealed that upon taking office, he was astounded by European nations such as France preaching about democracy and the absence of corruption while pressuring him to take certain actions that promote their national interests over Guinea's. He also admitted that he now understands why some African leaders do not act in their people's best interests due to external Western pressures. All of this simply confirms that while General Mamady wishes to be revolutionary like Captain Traore, he is under pressure not to do so. But now that he has dissolved the government, he may be preparing to face France. Aside from that, recent revelations suggest that Colonel Mamady may have something against Ibrahim Traore, which is why the two have not been communicating. So, what does he have against Traore? Remember that on September 30th, 2022, Paul-Henri Damiba was deposed by Captain Traore and other young soldiers who were dissatisfied with his actions since assuming power in 2021. However, you may not be aware that Paul-Henri Damiba also attended the École de Guerre French Military Academy, which Colonel Mamady also attended. Moreover, both Paul-Henri and Colonel Mamady attended this military school at the same time, so it is highly likely that they met and became close friends. You should also be aware that both Colonel Mamady and Paul-Henri assumed power in their respective countries in the year 2021. However, on September 30th, 2022, Captain Traore overthrew Paul-Henri Damiba in a coup and sent him into exile in Togo. Given that Paul-Henri was a close friend of Mamady, it is safe to assume that Colonel Mamady would not want to associate with someone who deposed his friend and exiled him. Since assuming power, the colonel has only visited Mali to meet with the Semakoida. This is not surprising, as Mamady met the Semakoida in Burkina Faso in 2018 during a training session for regional special force commanders hosted by the U.S. Army. So, Assimi Goïta and Colonel Mamady were already acquainted prior to the coup. However, aside from visiting Mali and supporting the Niger coup, Colonel Mamady has done nothing to strengthen his relationship with Burkina Faso or seek to join the three-country alliance. As previously stated, it is possible that this is due to his displeasure with Captain Traore, as well as pressure from France, which regards Captain Traore as a potential threat. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Thank you for watching.